Welcome to TEC2. I'm Dave Herman with Tech Support. Today we're going to be checking capacitors. First capacitor we're going to look at is on this condensing unit. Pretty simple unit, fairly easy to check. This unit itself has a dual capacitor, so it's going to be handling the fan and the capacitor. What we're going to need for this is a meter that is capable of checking microfarads, which most meters handle now, and some needle nose, possibly a nut turner, nut driver to loosen up that capacitor to get it out so you can actually get a look and see what the capacitor is rated at. This capacitor is rated at 35 microfarads on the compressor side and 5 microfarads on the fan side. So before we get in there and start touching anything, we want to make sure the power is off to the unit, which I've already done. So now we're going to get in, get a needle nose plier or some type of pliers, and we're going to get the wires removed from it so we can check it. So I'm going to get the wires pulled off. You want to keep track of where you're pulling your wires off of. You always have a schematic, but in case your schematic isn't any good or it's worn off the unit and you can't really read it anymore, you want to keep track of where your wires belong so you don't have a problem if your capacitor is good and you're going to hook things back up. So now that the capacitor is in the clear as far as the wiring goes, I'm going to turn my meter on to the microfarad setting. Seeing that I should be seeing 35 microfarads on the one side of it and 5 on the other, I'm going to select my range. Now I'm going to take my meter and I'm going to check this dual capacitor on the AC. We're going to look at 3 points on here. There's common, fan, and hermetic. Fan being for the fan motor, the hermetic being for the compressor. To do that, I'm just going to go to the common with one lead, and then I'm going to go the fan with the other and check my reading, which is right where it should be at 5 microfarads. So we're right where we should be as far as the rating on the capacitor itself. The next one we're just going to take, we're going to go to the common again, and we're going to go to the hermetic, which is the compressor. And on the compressor we're reading 35.3. So we're right in range where we should be for that capacitor, 35.3 on the hermetic side, compressor, and 5 on the fan side, which is right within the rating. So we know our capacitor is good on this unit. So if we are having a problem, that is not our problem with the unit. So we have to move on and see where our problem is. Okay, we've done the dual capacitor. Now we're going to do a single-use capacitor. So this is going to be used on a motor. Could be, depending on the style capacitor it is. Can be a motor, can be a compressor. It may not look this way, but you're going to only have 2 points on it. This capacitor is rated at 4 microfarads, so we're going to check this one now. Checking the points in this capacitor, we are reading the 4 microfarads it's rated at, so we know that capacitor is good. So checking the capacitors, whether it's a single use or a dual use, you're going to be checking your microfarads. You're just going to have a couple points to check on the dual use, and on the single use you'll have the 1 point to check. You're going to see capacitors of this nature in condensing units, furnaces, anywhere you're going to have a motor or capacitor, you're going to run into these. Keep an eye out for more videos. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to our channel.